Hello everyone, in this video we're going to figure out how to find the y-intercept from a graph. So before we get started, what is the y-intercept? Well, we generally define the y-intercept as the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So which of these is the y-axis? Is the y-axis the one that measures side to side, or is the y-axis the one that measures up and down? So we know that the y-axis is the one that measures up and down. So whenever a line crosses this axis, that point is going to be our y-intercept. So let's take a look at a couple of example problems. Here I have a line and I want to figure out when it crosses the y-axis. So I know that my y-axis measures up and down, and I can see that these two lines are going to cross at this point right here. So where's the coordinate for this point? Well, every time I write a coordinate point, I know that I'm always going to write it as the x value, comma, the y value. So since my y-axis is located right in the center, I'm not shifting left and right at all, that x value is going to be 0. And then in order to reach that point, I need to move up 3 spots, so the y value is going to be 3. So the y-intercept for this point is going to be 0, 3. Here's the next example. I want to figure out when this line crosses the y-axis. And I can see that the y-axis is going to be right here. And these two lines are going to cross at this point right here. So what's going to be the coordinate for this point? Well, I know that since I'm not shifting left and right at all, my x value is going to stay 0. And in order to reach this point, I need to move down 5 spaces. And since I'm moving down, my y value is going to be -5. So the y-intercept for this line is going to be 0, -5. Okay. Here's our third example. When does this line cross the y-axis? So here's the y-axis, and I can see that these 2 points are going to intersect at this point up here. Okay. So where's this point at? So since I'm staying right in the center, I know that my x value is 0, and in order to reach this point, I need to move up 6 spots. So the y-intercept is going to be 0, 6. And here's our last example. So what's the y-intercept for this point going to be? So I can see that here's my line, and my y-axis is going to be the one going up and down. And these two lines are going to cross right here. So what's the coordinate for this point? So I'm staying right in the center. I know the x value is going to be 0. And since I'm not moving up and down at all, my y value is also going to be 0. So the coordinate for this point is going to be 0, 0. Right? Notice that every time I write the y-intercept, my x value is always going to stay at 0 because I know the y-axis is located right in the center. So when I write the y-intercept, it's always going to look in the form 0, some number. And in this case, we're going to call that b. Okay? So when you're looking for the y-intercept, always look for the point where the line crosses the y-axis.